Hello, my dear friends. How are you? I hope you're good, and I'm also fine here. I welcome you to my channel English Planet, wherein I make videos about English grammar, English idioms, English proverbs, and English pronunciation of tricky words. In today's video, I'm going to talk about conjunctions and interjections. But before starting off, I would like to give a brief introduction about my own self. I'm Sunil. I'm a production engineer. Also, I've done MBA from the University of Mumbai, India. So that's about it. Without wasting much of your time, let's jump straight into the video. In today's lecture, I'm going to cover what are clauses, what are phrases, what are conjunctions, types of conjunctions, what are interjections, and types of interjections. Now, what are clauses? Clauses are basically the group of words with a subject-verb combination. Now, what is a subject? A subject is basically the doer of the action, or you can say subject indicates about whom the sentence is written, about whom. So that is a subject, and verb is basically, as you know, an action word or a state of being. It shows state of being. So there are two types of clauses: independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause express a complete thought. It's a complete sentence, and dependent clause doesn't express a complete thought. It's an incomplete sentence. It depends upon the independent clause to convey a meaning. So these are clauses. Examples of independent clause: I went to the market. Here the subject is I because the doer of the action is I, and went is the verb. So this is a complete sentence. I went to the market. So it is an example of independent clause. I love my dog very much. This again is a complete sentence. I is the subject, love is a verb. Why I is the subject? Because the sentence is about I. I is the doer of the action. I love my dog very much. So I is the subject, love is the verb. So it's a complete sentence, and that's why it becomes an example of the independent clause. Third one, I bought an ice cream. Here I is the subject. Why I is the subject? Because I is the doer of the action. I bought an ice cream. Or you can say the sentence is about I. I bought an ice cream. So I is the subject, bought is a verb. So it becomes a complete sentence, and that's why it's an example of an independent clause. Now, examples of dependent clause. They also have subject and verb agreement, but they don't make a complete sense. For example, when I came, what happened? Nobody knows. So it's a dependent clause. It's an incomplete sentence. Here the subject is I, came is the verb. After I woke up, here it's an incomplete sentence. I is the subject, woke is the verb. It's an incomplete sentence. After I woke up. So it's an example of a dependent clause. Although I knew. Although I knew what? Nobody knows that. I is the subject, knew is the verb. But still it's a dependent clause. Because I reached there in time. I is the subject, reached is the verb. But it's a dependent clause. Why? Because it doesn't make a complete sense. It has to depend upon the independent clause for it to make a meaning, convey a meaning. Now, what are phrases? Phrases are basically the group of words without the subject-verb combination. They don't have subject, they don't have verb. For example, my naughty kids. This is a phrase. It doesn't have a subject, it doesn't have a verb. Much faster. This again is a phrase because it doesn't have a subject, doesn't have a verb. Won't go. This is a phrase as well. So these are phrases. Now, what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are basically joiners, they are connectors. They are used to join clauses, phrases, and words together. They are used to avoid making the text seem like bullet points, and they basically make the writing very crisp. For example, let us have a look at this example. Jay saw a dog on the road, full stop. He decided to adopt the dog, full stop. Jay brought the dog home, full stop. Now let us rewrite the sentence using conjunctions. So the above sentence becomes Jai saw a dog on the road and decided to adopt the dog. So he brought the dog home. Now this makes the writing crispier. So that is the power of conjunctions. Now examples of conjunctions. Alex and Robin are playing together. And is the conjunction because it is joining Alex and Robin. Second example. Alex plays well but Robin plays better than him. But is the conjunction. I play cricket and Robin plays football and is the conjunction. When he was sick, I went to see him. When is the conjunction. Now types of conjunctions. There are three types of conjunctions. First one is coordinating conjunction. Second one is subordinating conjunction. And third one is correlative conjunction. Let us examine each of them in detail. Now, what is coordinating conjunction? The job of a coordinating conjunction is to join two words, phrases, or independent clauses which have the same grammatical structure. Now there are 7 coordinating conjunctions. If you want to remember the 7 coordinating conjunction, you remember the word fanboys. F is for, A is for and, N is for nor, B is for but, O is for or, Y is for yet, and S is for so. Fanboys. Remember the word fanboys. So basically coordinating conjunctions, they do what? They join two words or phrases or independent clauses. Examples of coordinating conjunctions. He bought a book and a pen. And is the coordinating conjunction. It joins two words. Which are those two words? Book and a pen. So it joined two words. Second example, you may meet me at my home or at my office. At my home is a phrase, at my office is a phrase as well, or is a coordinating conjunction. So it joins two phrases here in this case. Third one, I waited for him, but he didn't come. I waited for him is an independent clause. He didn't come is also an independent clause, and but is the coordinating conjunction. So it is used to join two clauses as well. So remember these examples. Now, what is a subordinating conjunction? Subordinating conjunctions are basically used to join independent clauses with the dependent clauses. Now, they join an independent clause with a dependent clause. So, most commonly used subordinating conjunctions are after, how, then, when, although, if, and many more. Now, examples of subordinating conjunctions. Before we left home, I had my breakfast. Before we left home is a dependent clause, and I had my breakfast is an independent clause. So it basically joins the dependent clause with the independent clause. So before is the subordinating conjunction. Provided they come, we can start the class tomorrow. Provided they come is the dependent clause. We can start the class tomorrow is an independent clause. Provided is the subordinating conjunction. When he was washing my car, I went to the store. When is the subordinating conjunction. When he was washing my car is the dependent clause, and I went to the store is an independent clause. Even though the weather was horrible, they went outside. Even though the weather was horrible is an dependent clause, they went outside is an independent clause. Even though is a subordinating conjunction. I hope you are following everything. If you have any doubts, questions, queries, or suggestions, please mention all those in the comment box. Now last one is correlative conjunction. They are simply the pairs of conjunctions used in a sentence to join different words or group of words in a sentence. They are what? They are simply pairs of conjunctions. Now what are these pairs? These pairs could be both and, either or, neither nor, not only but also, whether or, hardly when, and so on. Some of the examples of correlative conjunctions. Neither Alex nor Robin can play baseball. Neither nor. Neither nor is an example of correlative conjunction. I want both ice cream and chocolate. Both and. This is an example of correlative conjunction. He ate not only the ice cream but also the chocolate. Not only and but also. This is an example of correlative conjunction. So these are basically used to join two clauses or two sentences or two words. So that was about conjunctions, and now let us move on to the next topic, which is interjection. Now what do you mean by interjection? Interjection is basically a kind of an exclamation inserted into your speech. Actually it is a brief pause when you're delivering a lecture so as to express your emotions. There are 6 types of interjections. Interjections for greeting, interjections for joy, interjections for approval, interjections for attention, interjections for surprise, and interjections for sorrow. So interjection is what? It is a kind of exclamation. Remember that interjection means exclamation. Interjections for greeting. This is basically an interjection used in the sentence to say hi, to greet someone basically, such as hi, hello, hey, and so on. For example, hey, nice to see you here in the party. Second one, hello, I'm Pooja. It is basically used to greet the person around you. Interjections for joy. This interjection is basically used to express happiness over the happy incident which has occurred, such as hurrah, wow, hooray, so on. For example, wow, you're looking gorgeous. Hooray, we successfully won this football match. So it basically indicates happiness over which has on any happy occasion. Interjections for approval. Now this type of interjection basically is used to express a strong sense of agreement for something that has happened. For example, well done, you won the race. This is an interjection for approval. Bravo, the first rank is yours this year. This is an interjection for approval. Fourth one is interjection for attention. This interjection is basically used to draw the attention of someone. For example, look, you so arrogant. Listen, I have never copied you. Behold, someone strange is there. So these are some of the examples of interjection for attention. Fifth one, interjections for surprise. Now this type of interjection is basically used to express a strong sense of surprise about something which has happened. For example, what? You failed? Oh, really, you completed the task? I can't believe it. Ah, I got new job. So this was about interjections for surprise. Now interjections for sorrow. This is the last interjection. This type of interjection is used to express the emotion of sadness about something unfortunate that has happened. For example, alas, he is no more. Ouch, it's very paining. Now this is an exercise on interjections. You have to fill in the blanks with the correct interjection. There are 5 of them. So you can write your answers in the comment box. I'll reply. Once I see those, I'll reply to them. First one is dash, the train stopped again. Second one is dash, I didn't intend to harm you. Third one is dash, did you hear that? Fourth one is dash, is pricking my ear. Fifth one is dash, I broke my knee. And lastly, the exercise on conjunctions. You have to fill in the blanks with the correct conjunction. There are 5 of them. So write your answer in the comment box. I'll go through them and respond to them. My brother loves animals. He just brought a puppy dash, a kitten home with him. Second one, I would like to thank you dash, the lovely gift. I want to go for a hike dash, I have to go to work today. They do not smoke dash, do they play cards? I'm getting good grades dash, I study every day. So this is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your time. Until next time, bye bye and have a nice time.